Yo, 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 Larry Lots, back in the spot again. What's good, man? Welcome to my YouTube video. And I got a little recap for y'all. I got a weekly recap, low key. A lot of things happened. If y'all saw my last two videos, it was not going well for me. It was not going well for me at all. I actually had to move from Top Step to Lucid because, they had 25K account. It was a lot cheaper. The rules was relatively similar. Winning days, consistency rule 50%. Except there's a 50% consistency rule on the funded account too, I believe. Um, but yeah, the profit target that you need is way lower, man. That joint is crazy. Uh, 1 to 1.25, and then on top of that, I don't know. I just feel like for me, I feel like trading is a little bit more difficult because like even though you can manage the losing days, you have more drawdown with the big accounts. But even though you can manage the losing days, like no matter what account size you trade on, I feel like if you do have a series of winning days, like you're more likely to take your payout on the 25Ks for here once you're above the buffer that you need to get. And speaking of which, I passed the 25K. I'm back funded. So this next week coming up, I gotta be locked in. I gotta be focused. I gotta be patient. And yeah, I gotta make it happen. But I'm gonna show you my accounts, man. Crazy, 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 crazy. All right, so this account right here, like some stuff happened. I went from 50,000 down to 48,300. It's somewhere in there. First day here, and then you can see my P&L low was not even sure. All I know is this account had like $297 left in it. Yeah, $297 left, and now it's back up. But the other account I really want to show you is this account. Look at the math. Yo, I lost 619 the first day, and then my P&L low, even though I ended the day green, was 227. So that's like how much loss? A little over 800, like 840. Really like 850, close to 850 to be honest. 845, 846. I had just about 150 to $160 left on this account. And this is just to show, like, if you don't, the first day I started off just going bonkers, but bonkers. And when I had only $150 up, I was not taking terrible risk. I went from 150 drawdown left to being up 300 on the account, basically 400. And my goal is really to get, if I'm risking about 200, 150 to 200, but lately I've been a little closer to 200, even though that's not the best risk to reward on this size account. But if I get close to 200, I have to lose 5 trades in a row in order to not, like, in order to blow the account. But with that being said, I'm trying to get around 400 to 600 a day. 600 is the 50% consistency rule. Well, at least for the eval, if you don't want to extend it. Now I don't really care. If I have a big day, it doesn't matter. Like, I actually would prefer to have like a win and then a big day like 1,000, because then I'll already be past the buffer. Granted, I'll have less drawdown than if I was to get a 50K, but it'll feel a little different. Plus, once I hit my 5 days, I can withdraw. So I'm going to be taking it slow, but a mix of still having like relatively high risk if you consider the size of the account. But I think 25K is way better because if you are comfortable risking 150 to 200, and not believing you lose 5 trades in a row, like if you lose 2 times in a day, you also should just probably call it that way. Like you can adjust your risk plan. And I think I'm gonna do like 200 on the first trade because typically that's me I'm most confident. And then if I win, same amount, if not some of the profits. But if I lose, I'll do 150. So 200 and then 150 as close as I can get. So that way, if I lose 350, 350, it'll take 3 days to lose. If I plan on taking 2 losses a day, 350, 350, and then I'll have $300, for a third day. I can adjust the risk from there whether I want to go down to 100 or risk 150, 150. But anyways, all that to say, 25K. Also, the rules that they have, the one you can only withdraw 1,000 max. So I haven't been getting no payouts at all. So I don't need 2K, 5K, 10K. I need something to think. So the fact that you can only take out 1K and you have to wait 5 days, like for example, on Top Step, or most of these other prop firms, it's 5 days, but you got to get to the buffer. It's a lot easier to get 1,000 in 5 days, which will put you above the buffer, or like 1,500 in 5 days or whatever, than it is to get 3,000. Most people want to be above their like buffer. In this case, there's no exact buffer limit. I mean, it's really your profit target. But whereas on like Top Step, it's not the profit target; it's actual buffer of 2,000. Or the other accounts is a 50K, like on the 50K that I have on here. It's the actual 2,000, which is your stop loss. So there's no buffer limit. It's like now when you hit 1,000, they'll stop following you. I believe it's 1250. But anyways, all that to say, when you hit your like buffer, you're like in a prime position to withdraw. It doesn't seem like dang I have so many tasks. It doesn't seem like I gotta hit 5 days and I gotta get to 3,000. Because like I mean you could get to 2,000, and this is also gonna help my mindset on a 50K. Because before if I ever got to 2K on a 50K, I was like nah, I can't withdraw because then my what's it called? My drawdown is gonna increase all the way to 1,000. But if I'm thinking about it, I'm literally trading with 1,000 drawdown right now. So that was a different mindset too. That was a different mindset to have too. Like anything above 1,000, you could withdraw if you were comfortable. But for the size of the account, that plays a game. But with this account, I know 1,000 is the limit. So it's like now I'm gonna be more adjusted to having that amount of drawdown when I go to bigger accounts. And then on top of that, yeah, I just feel like I don't know it's more feasible. So, anyways, I'm gonna go into the trades I took to actually help me pass an account. I do have a funded now. Um, here we go, proof, and I will be trading that this week coming up. But let's get into it, man. So, the day started off the hourly. Literally, the hourly is so goated. The day started off with price from Thursday, pushing up into highs. I'm talking about highs. It wasn't all time highs, but we made highs. And the next like super structures to the left that we got are here if we just look at the hourly. But using the information we have, price pushed past the area over here. So now we're definitely looking for buys. What we want to see is what was the furthest, like what was the most recent structure to the left that was broken, and where would price want to retest to? All right, price broke out, had a pullback. It wasn't a very strong pullback considering like how much movement we just had. It did pull back though, and then it pushed back up to the upside. This was on Thursday. So when Friday started, price immediately started testing down during Asian, and then during the New York session, we opened up with a close. This candle closed above the top of this wick. So when that happens, that's called a break of structure. When we have a break of structure, we're looking for a retest of some sort. It wouldn't be the most feasible or advisable to look for more buys after a break of structure and a close because for my ideology, if price closes above recent structure, it has two options. I mean, it could keep going up, but it has to retrace. It needs to retrace so it can retest the highs that it just made. It needs to retrace so it can retest the highs. So I figured this is not an ideal time to take buys. First of all, it was 8 o'clock, so it didn't matter. But it's aligning exactly with my theory. As soon as 9 o'clock open, we have price retracing. We can go down to a low time frame so we can see it. As soon as price open, we have price retracing down to here. I don't have these saved. Now this is the low of the hourly structure that just got made. But because this hourly retracement is I want to say basically in the middle of nowhere, I didn't actually trust this area to hold up. I drew all the support and everything. So that way if I got a 15-minute reversal pattern or something, then it would be, believable that it would go back up. For example, price pushed up here, had a retracement, came up here. It actually failed to make a new high right here. So when price fails to make a new high, it has to retrace lower and then try to go again. Except this is an isolated incident because price should be price made this move up. This is a break of structure. Price should be retesting down here to retest up here. Price never even came down here at all, anywhere in here. to retest here. So it's a retest. It's a retesting itself. And I would have trusted this more if it was like two moves up. So because the first one usually gets invalidated, which is why my whole strategy when I do two zones is that it tests the second one because it's somewhat established. 1, 2. This is just nothing to establish that this will actually hold up. And with that being said, that it did hold up because we had an hourly reversal pattern, which looks like this. The reversal pattern looks like this, but you can apply this concept to any time frame. You see, we have a bearish, bullish close, and then not quite a retest. So and push, price kept pushing up. Anyways, back to the idea. Price closed above. We're seeing a retracement. First of all, the selling pressure was just too crazy that I wasn't looking like to do anything. I wasn't even really planning on taking trades on Friday. I also didn't stream Friday because the market was just moving crazy. There was a bunch of chop right here. Like everything, even this is why the higher time frame is good too, because like this just seems like so many candles printing, so much movement happening, but it's also a lot of noise. It's easy to get chopped up. You could have been trying to take the buys off of this retest right here with that crazy wick. Then you would think it's going to be buys, and then the next thing you know, the candle sells down. But when you're looking at a high time frame, it's like, all right, it's way less candles, way less information to process. Price needs to retest the zone, and then it needs to show me that it wants to push up, and to like even further prove that, like the top hourly zone and the deep hourly zone would be right here. That's not much to retest to show it's going to go up. So I would have to go down to the 5-minute to see where price bounced from. To even see if it's something that would hold up. Which would be like right here. Let's draw a line. Being a little lazy with the analysis right now. Save. Look at that blue line. Price tapped it. No type of rejection at all. Just instantly invalidated. So it's like, it wouldn't even been worth it to try and take a trade from this blue line. Like, price just crashed through it. Even if I was to use the 1 minute. Session. All right, here we go. Price almost at the 5-minute, and you could have probably got chopped though. You probably would have found a 1 minute reversal in here, but that's why I need to be patient. On that first zone with no support, it's not the one to take. So with that being said, I said, all right, if I need price to retrace, where would price retrace to? Mind you, remember I drew the hourly zone over here. This blue zone is way below this price getting broken. So I was able to look for a trade from here down to the blue zone. That's exactly what I did. So look at this trade right here. We have price pushing down, closing below all these structures. If price breaks to the upside, if I see 2 5-minute structures broken, so if we're buying up, if I see 2 5-minute higher lows broken, I'm willing to look for sales. In this case, that would be here, and this made the new high, then this made the new high, then this made the new high, then this made this high, which never got broken. So we had price break under down to here. I'm going to draw it for us. This is the low. Price needed to get closed below it. The low is 206.75, and it's closed at 206.25. Boom. So that's one low broken. Now, where's the second low to the left of that that's broken? This is the second low to the left that's broken. 2 zones broken, and we didn't retest to the zone yet. So I could look for sells right now, even though it's going against the overall buy bias because we are bullish on the hourly time frame. We're selling to a lower time frame, and it got confirmed that we're looking for sales right now. So technically, we're in sales for 2 reasons. 1, price broke a structure, so we need to retrace. 2, it broke 2 5-minute zones before it tested the zone where it could buy from. This is not a real zone that it could buy from because we don't believe in this area right here. So came down here, price is selling, and mind you, this is like 10:30, about to be 11. We had price pushing down. I'll go to the hourly. I mean, at 1 minute. We had a bunch of big bearish candles. Some of them are wicky. And then we had a big bullish candle right here, which is why you see my stop loss is so big. because I needed the pattern to play out. So this is what the pattern looked like for continuation. We had price making lower lows, and then we had price make two higher lows and higher highs at the same time. And then it broke below both of them. When price broke below both of them and retested, I looked for the sells. I had a later entry because I hesitated on the entry, but I still made sure my risk lined up with the trade I did. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a price to make this pattern, the bearish move with this pattern. You see it? Bullish candle, bearish, bullish with a higher price closed above the last higher high, I guess. Yeah, price closed above the last higher high. It actually did it twice. So now when price breaks below 1 and 2 and closes, we can actually get in. We want to wait for it to close and then retest. So the ideal entry is here. Well, the time for a real entry is when it retests to this zone. Sometimes you don't get a retest. So if you want to get a close, like a candle with that much momentum, you might be like, yo, I might not retest. Let me just get in. Just make sure you adjust your risk. Stop loss has to be at the top of the candle, or you could do stop loss at the top of the bearish candle that this candle is testing. So you could also have your stop loss up here, which is a little safer, but then you have to extend your TP a little bit further. You would have just missed 1 to 1.5, but you would hit 1 to 1. So, all up to you. If you want to use a super conservative stop loss, you can do 1 to 1. I think I did 1 to 1.5. Not even sure. But I also had a late entry. So when I get a late entry, I just do take profit based on 1 to 1.5 of what the ideal entry would be, which is why my take profit is 1 to 1.11. But if I would have got like the ideal entry, put it right here. Oh, you see, this is 1 to 1.5 down there, just about the same area. So that's how I've been operating lately. But anyways, without being too confusing, I had a continuation pattern. I entered into continuation pattern. I took price down to the blue zone to the left here. So really, that would have just been 0.75. I needed 0.63 for 1 to 1.5. And I believed it would hit, so I ended up taking it. And the good thing was that this candle that I got in on didn't close yet. So because that hourly candle didn't close yet, for example, this would be selling the lows if the hourly had closed. If this hourly had closed before I found this trade setup, that's how I got cooked last week. I was basically buying the highs and selling the lows, and that's how I was getting cooked. Don't do that. Buy low, sell high. So I was buying high and selling low, and I was getting cooked. And this is kind of low, but it wasn't at the lows when the lows was confirmed. So, anyways, I won this trade. This put me 200 away from passing the account and recovering everything else, basically. And what I was doing on the 50K lucid was basically doubling everything I was risking on the 25Ks. So I think I went on like a winning streak, really. Those other accounts, I did actually trade during Asian, despite saying I wouldn't. But this one account that I passed, I literally only traded during New York. And look at the results. I traded only during New York, and I passed it in 1 week. So, and these aren't my first 25Ks, just being transparent. But these are the ones I traded the best on. So, anyways, take a look into the afternoon session, right? We got price overall being bullish. So I'm looking for bullish movement. We had price retest the zone that could be, a viable zone, since this is where price broke. This is the largest area that price broke out of. Like, we would expect price to potentially retest down here too, but if we want to go a little deeper into some like hourly structure, when price was going up here, that's 1, 2, 3. Price broke below and closed below 2, so it shifted to sells. Then we had 1, 2, 3. Then we had a fail to break above 2, and then we finally had to break above 2, so we turned back into buys. Then it was 1, 2, 3 zones. Then we had price sell below 2, so it's back to sells. Then we had 1, 2. So When price broke above this and this, it went back to buys. From everything here, should have been looking for buys. And which is why we think price should retest here. But with like momentum, with price action this crazy, 300 points in a candle, you don't expect it to fully retrace. What you need to do is wait for a retracement, a tap of some zone, and then price on a lower time frame to show you that price is switching back to buys. Because it's like, yeah, price is bullish, but where is it going to buy from? And that's what we're going to look at right here. I need to save this. I'm not sure why it's not coming. Oh, that's why. Okay. It's not MQU. So price is in this zone right here. When did price show that it was going to be bullish? Good question. Where's my position to? All right, there we go. This was at 3 in the afternoon. When did price show that it was going to be bullish? Well, let's take a look. We had a 15-minute bounce from an hourly zone. This is supposed to be yellow. Then we need another break above and a close. This, the high of this is 107.5, and this is 108.75. So I could have actually looked for more trades after, but for two reasons I didn't. One, I was already done for the day. Two, consistency rule on the eval. Three, I just passed the account. Why would I take more trades on it? But anyways, this is when it's the most confirmed. However, we can look for the reverse pattern. Price failed on its next attempt to make the breaking structure above this and give the reversal pattern, which looks like this, to show that price from a zone is going back bullish. But what we do have is another attempt. So we have a bearish candle and a bullish candle. That's this leg. And we have a bearish candle. No other bullish candles yet that failed. And then a bullish candle. And this bullish candle closes above this. And what does it do? It retests. So that is our confirmation that we're looking for buys. And this is at 215. Once we have this pattern confirmed, 215, right? Price pushes up again. I could have been looking for the first one. This was the confirmation. I could have probably been looking down here to retest price up to here. But instead what I did was I waited for another breaker structure. And then we have two opportunities to get in. We have when the breaker structure happens, price retests. That's why I have this zone in here drawn up. When price retests here, we look for a 1 minute. This pattern is your best friend. Like this pattern literally is your best friend. I'm gonna draw it. I'll make it purple so we know looking at the 5 minute. This also should be purple. And then when we see price retest this deep purple zone right here, and we look for the same pattern. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. It failed to break this one, so we look again. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Price closed above, and then we had a retest here. If you wanted to wait, you could have did. If you still want to hold this candle because it's still valid, it's the largest one. Price broke above, finally retested here. We enter along. We use stop loss at the bottom. We take it to the highs to the left, and it's just a 1-to-1. Perfect. It works out that it ends up being a 1-to-1 because look, we go to the 5 minute. This is the structure we're targeting. This is the zone where it happened. This is where price broke out. This is where it retested. These are the lows that we're using. Okay, well now it's not 1-to-1, but you know what I'm trying to say. Then you could have had a better entry. But anyways, I also didn't take that trade. Price broke above, gave another breaker structure. You know what happens when you get a breaker structure? This breaker structure gave me a bullish momentum candle. At 3:15, we had bullish momentum. Then we had a reversal pattern. I'm pretty sure that's why I got in, but I could have just been capping this whole time, and I actually got in on the retest. Let me see. I think push up. Oh yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, I might have actually just gotten on that breaker structure right here. He had this breaker structure, then I took it here, but I actually didn't take it to this recent high to the left. I took it to here. This is the last low that got broken below. So price wanted to retest it there. That's 125, it said, right here. I drew this zone right here on the hourly. Because when we had to change the character, or change the character with the hourly, And this might be a little confusing, but basically I'm just telling you, price broke below here. Forget this low that got broken. The recent lows that got broken that price will want to retest to sell again, if it was going to sell again, would be here. I drew out the box, drew the zone around it, and I just took profit to it. Obviously, price started going up past it, but I took price to the box -1. So I took TP at 123. I needed 117 to pass on the other account, and 123 I took full TP. We had price retrace. Oh, I drew it right here. We had price retrace. Price went above. Price came back down. Price retested. And I just took it to the highs. And I ended up passing the account. So, yeah, man, I'm excited for next week. That's crazy. But I'm excited for next week. We're going to fund it. Trade C, man, Trade C is like Top Step X, but like more along the lines of TradingView, but I really like it. And they have a cool feature where you can copy trade, but you can make one account risk more than the other accounts with a multiplier. So yeah, let's see. Pretty sure you can. Oh, that kind of slide. That's why I can't trade it. Leader. It's somewhere here. I'm not gonna lie, I got so used to using it on the phone that I'm not even a pro at using it on here. But regardless, you can make your copy trading account copy more, and that's pretty cool. I think using that multiplier definitely can help. So it's somewhere around here. I'll figure it out. But anyways, appreciate you for tuning in. Thanks for watching the video. Catch you on the next one. Peace.